Hello and welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Spotlight with me, Leah Heilpern, where we speak to entrepreneurs, innovators and leaders in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. Drop a comment below and let us know who you want us to interview next week. And if you enjoy the video, then definitely hit the like button as it helps us grow the channel. Joining us today is Jeff Kirdeikis, the founder of Uptrennd, an up-and-coming social media platform that is a bootstrapped and employee-owned organization. Jeff is also a trader and a content creator with a cryptocurrency investing network. He also runs the Bitcoin and Crypto podcast, which is available on many different platforms, including Spotify. Jeff, great to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing super well. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Absolute pleasure. Now, there is a lot of uncertainty in the markets right now, and we've seen governments go to extraordinary lengths to try and fight this crisis that we're seeing. So from a macro perspective, what is your opinion on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole in the short term?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's been such an unprecedented time, I think is the biggest thing. And I feel like, when you're looking at the outlook on something like Bitcoin, it's really indicated by two main things. You have buying pressure and selling pressure that really just indicates where it's going to go. Obviously, you have OTC trades. And, taking a look at Bitcoin, I feel like there's just a couple reasons why somebody would hold it. You have speculative asset, you have store of value, an alternative, like a decentralized system, or to move money across borders. I think the last two, they always stay consistent, but store of value and, a speculative asset. Those are the two main ones that kind of move with the economy. So right now as a speculative asset, I just see a lot of people needing to kind of bring in their wealth and really play it safe right now. So I don't see too many people putting more money into Bitcoin. I see people really kind of just trying to keep it safe. And so I don't see, there being a lot of potential going in that way. And I think the store of value rhetoric, a lot of us were really excited to see the store of value come into play. Me especially, when we saw there were the Iraqi attacks from the US on January 3rd, and Bitcoin rallied 10% when the US attack, and then when Iraq retaliated, it rallied another 10%. So I'm like, okay, this actually could be a very good indicator that, Bitcoin's going to perform well once this bubble inevitably pops. But I think the coronavirus has just been so drastic in really crippling people's wealth potential, their jobs. Unemployment in the US is 22 million people reported now. So I think the store of value rhetoric really took a hit. The speculative asset potential has really taken a hit as well because people are just trying to hoard their wealth. So I'm a little more hesitant than usual as to the optimistic outlook on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I think, for being able to move money across borders and being able to create a side system, I think there's a lot of validity there. But in terms of USD pairing, I'm not putting too many of my eggs in that basket currently. Obviously, still a huge supporter of cryptocurrency, always have been. But for somebody who is, looking to ride that USD pair, and if, don't invest more than you can afford to lose, I think is the best advice there, because these are some unprecedented times for sure.
Yeah, and I think, you're totally right. People were kind of looking at this as an opportunity for Bitcoin to prove itself as that store of value, as that safe haven asset. Because like you said, during so much uncertainty, even with the protests in Hong Kong, we saw Bitcoin actually rally. So do you think that it could potentially become a store of value? Do you think it can actually potentially become that safe haven asset? Just now is just particularly unprecedented. And then with that being said, when do you think it could actually hit new all-time highs?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could become a digital gold, a store of value in that regard. And I think for a lot of people, it still does act as that. I may be an outlier in that sense. So over time, I think it'll just become harder, like a more established store of value. It's not going away by any stretch of the imagination. There's 1,000 other cryptocurrencies out there that are faster, more scalable. But Bitcoin is still number one. And so I think there's no surprise there. And I don't think it's going to get dethroned by some other payment coin, unless it's some kind of Libra stable coin, I don't think. So looking at the economic state, coronavirus, how long is that going to last? definitely it's not ending tomorrow.
No.
So I'm just going to take kind of like the big wedge on the Bitcoin flag and say April 2021 is kind of where that wedge comes to a pinnacle or a kind of a point. Then you usually have a breakout from there, and breakouts come with big moves. So
But it's
yeah, let's
interesting
say
because the halving is in, a month's time, and people were sort
right.
of saying April 2020, but now April
Uh-huh.
2021.
Yeah, and I guess that's the, you have to weigh all these parts against each other. Like what's been more impactful? Is it the upcoming halving, which will obviously take millions of dollars off the table per day because, half the Bitcoin are being issued, or is it people now having less than half the income that they used to have? So I think the latter, with people just, retail not having as much money, and institutions potentially holding their cards a little bit tighter in cash potentially, I think may have a larger impact on the happening. I know obviously this is a cryptocurrency channel and this is all crypto, so we want to be bullish as we can, but
Yeah.
I
We
think
have
there
to
is
be
a little bit of
realistic.
realism. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So for you, then, as a bootstrapped entrepreneur, how has this time been for you?
It's been a lot of fun, actually.
Okay.
I
That's
mean,
great.
like, yeah, coronavirus aside, like, I feel terrible for all the things that are happening to people, tons of death, tons of hardships. But just looking at, for example, my entrepreneurial venture, Uptrend in particular, I feel like we're kind of like an Amazon or a Shopify in the way that we've actually really benefited from what's happening here, because now people are staying home and they're like, okay, I'm at home. I'm looking for a way to earn some extra income. What can I do? And then also YouTube during all this has just been like feeding us beautiful content creators because they keep deplatforming all these people. So we're like, content creators come, people who are looking to earn an extra income come over to Uptrend. So we've had like, this has been our best time ever, really. Like
Wow.
our revenues have been skyrocketing. Our team's morale is at an all-time high because they got more time on their hands now. And yeah, so it's been good. It's always challenging, but it's for us been a benefit, as crazy as that is to say.
Well, it's not crazy at all because I think right now, a lot of people are finding actually this decentralized way of working
Yeah.
seems to be doing much better during this time. So I guess it's just another reason to fight for crypto and sort of show why it's just a better way of doing things. But so I'm glad to hear things are going great right now. But Uptrend in general, what are some of the difficulties that you faced in developing it, and how have you gone about actually solving those?
I think the biggest challenge was the fact that we went bootstrapped, and so finance is the biggest thing. When we started Uptrend, I thought, I do not want to do a $30 million ICO. I really, really value putting a product first, and then if people feel like there's value there, great. Then let's build a value ecosystem behind it. So not having $30 million on hand to just throw at whatever problem arises was a challenge, but also very fun. Like that's kind of my personality and a lot of the team as well. We really value resourcefulness over resources. You can do anything you want, and that was a big mission of Uptrend, or kind of proving point that we kind of wanted to stick it to all these other projects. Like, look, like for example, Voice. They've spent $180 million on public record on Voice, and not much has really happened. So we wanted to be like, you know what, we can build something for less. Uptrend rolled out for less than $6,000. So we've been really excited about that. So that was the challenge, but also the enjoyment of it.
So just looking at other competitors out there, I want to kind of talk about Steemit and Hive because you have spoken on a podcast about some issues to do with them. So tell us about these issues and which ones do you think will actually survive?
For sure. Yeah, so Hive, I absolutely love Hive. Like it's a beautiful decentralized ecosystem. Everybody's working together. I think they have like, I was just chatting with Dan, who's kind of like really in the Hive community. They have like 100 developers or people working on it. Just crazy, amazing stuff. But kind of let's start with Steemit. So Steemit, total train wreck now. Justin Sun bought Steemit. He used essentially this pool of funds or of tokens, Steam tokens called the Ninja Mine that were never supposed to be used. And he started to overthrow the voting system. Since then, he's censored people who kind of go against him on the platform. He's literally frozen people's funds. So if you're a supporter of Hive and you still have Steam tokens, he froze your money. So Steam to me is dead in the water. Pretty much the majority of people have transitioned to Hive, which is just a fork of Steem. So Steem to me dead. And honestly, I hope people are able to get out. There's like a 13-week withdrawal window, so I hope they can all get their Steem out. Wish the best for the people, and I hope the rest of it dies in a fire, honestly. And then for Hive, I wish those guys the best. They're really doing something from the heart. Maybe the issues that I'd see with Hive are that it's a little bit, there's not so much inequality if you're a new, or there is an inequality. If you're a new person, you're not really going to get any exposure. It's kind of, whales and big players and the OGs that, just they have all the weight, they have all the clout, all the power. So they kind of govern, what gets to the front page, what happens. So I see a big issue there. And then just their user onboarding, like blockchain is confusing for a lot of people. So I feel that's a friction point for mass adoption. If they can fix those two things, I think they're going to do phenomenally well. And I think they're going to do well regardless. And I think all boats rise with the tide. There's dozens upon dozens of these, social 2.0 platforms out there. And I wish pretty much all of them the best, besides Steemit. So yeah.
And you mentioned one of the issues with Steemit being sort of deplatforming, or if you don't agree with some things, then you get deplatformed. So I know that Uptrend is completely the opposite. It's all about freedom of speech. So what else is Uptrend doing then to kind of counter these problems and solve them?
For sure. Yeah. So obviously freedom of speech is one. And then, we were talking about Hive, just how easy is it to onboard. So with us, just boom, email, sign up instantly. That's fantastic. Equality of opportunity is a big thing for us. So whether you're a new user, you've been on for 10 years, you're going to have the same ranking in the algorithm, the same upvote power. So it's a lot more even, which I think is needed in social platforms. Otherwise, you just create the oligarchy that we're fighting against in these decentralized systems in the first place. Another big thing that sets us apart mainly from traditional social platforms is our stance on data privacy, data security. So we're not collecting data without user permission. In the future, we're going to allow people to turn that on. Like, hey, do you want us to collect data? And if so, you're actually going to get paid for it. Because I think that's the big thing is not only is Alexa listening to our conversation without us telling her she can, but she's also not paying it for it. She's not paying us to do that. So if she would ask, hey, can I listen in? I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm talking about, a one wheel. If anybody's listening, send me a one wheel. I really want one of these things. And I get ads for one wheels, and one day I'm going to pull the trigger on it.
What is a one wheel?
Oh my God.
What is it?
It's like
briefly, briefly, what is it?
Yeah, it's like a surfboard with a massive wheel in the center, but it's built for like off-roading in the woods. It's kind of like an off-road skateboard with a motor, but just
something
one
you
wheel.
can only do in Canada, where you have access to amazing forests and all of that, right?
It's a cool daily commuter too, though. So I'd suggest everybody check it out. It's pretty cool. I still need to get one.
No, that does sound really interesting. But
Yeah.
at Altcoin Buzz, we've been following Uptrend. We've been posting content about it. So we'd be so excited, to find out what's coming next. So what can we expect from Uptrend in the next 6 months?
Big focus for us right now is upgrading our site speeds, site performance, site security, and the site look and feel on both desktop and mobile. So we're totally redoing a lot of the design, especially on desktop, the post-creation section. Everything's going to be getting a massive facelift, and it's going to be looking very sleek, very sexy soon. And also we have our mobile apps coming out on both iOS and Android. Those are well underway. We've been building them for it's coming up to a year now, a year in August. So they're getting very, very close to launch. So those are some things that I'm super excited to be rolling out with.
Good. That sounds great. And I think, making that user-friendly experience super easy is so important. And you also do have the 1UP token. So can you tell us about the economics of this? How does it work? And how does it add value?
For sure. Yeah. So quickly diving into the utility of the 1UP token, pretty simple. So the 1UP token can allow you, that's what you earn when you get upvoted on Uptrend. Obviously, you can buy some on exchanges, but you can use this token to level up. So the cool difference between Uptrend and Hive, for example, is the higher your level on Hive, the more upvoting power you give. So you can let people earn more. On Uptrend, the higher your level, the more you earn. So at level, say 21, you're going to earn a 3x multiplier. So every upvote is worth 3 tokens. So as you to get to level 21, you have to invest those tokens into your account. So that's a big utility. And we see the majority of people investing into themselves, which is really cool. The token is also the main utility of it is for the promotion. It's like the whole advertising attention economy ecosystem. So people can boost up posts, advertisers come in, they buy the token. So that's kind of like the bread and butter of the economy is attention. So boosting your account, boosting your posts and advertisers. And then the third thing, which will be coming soon, or in the maybe, who knows, 3, 4, 5 months, something like this, is purchasing a community through an open auction. So just to kind of quickly dive into that is, imagine if on Reddit or Uptrend or any platform, if you could own a community, and whenever an upvote happened in that community, you would earn a percentage of every upvote. So let's say it's 1% of the value. So if there's 1 million upvotes that happen, you'd earn, what would that equate to? 10,000 upvotes worth of one up. So we're going to be putting these communities on open auction, and that'll be purchasable through the one up token.
Super exciting stuff going on, and I think I definitely love this whole idea of getting paid for your attention, because when we use regular normal social media sites, we're often spammed so much with ads, so it's great to actually have the ads add some value back to your lives. And just looking at the use cases, what can we expect then? Do you have any new exciting use cases, particularly when it comes to I don't know, using fiat currencies and being able to kind of on ramp, off ramp?
Yeah, we're going to be implementing level packs very, very shortly. I'm anticipating within the next month we'll have those live. So we'll have a fiat on-ramp. You can purchase level packs, so you can level yourself up using dollars, Ethereum, whatever it may be. And then, another utility coming soon would be the purchase community. So still working on that one.
So then I have to ask you, we've spoken about your own token, we've spoken about Bitcoin, but altcoins now. What are your top 5 favorites and why?
I'm a little slim on my altcoins right now. I've just been narrowing my focus, but so I only have 3. Ethereum, Pegnet, and Teller are my 3. So, Ethereum, pretty obvious. I think I won't go too deep into that. Pegnet is a decentralized stablecoin network. I think people should definitely check it out. And then Teller, if anyone is like really into these Oracle systems, I think they're really hot right now. Teller it's an Oracle. Has some incredible backing, an amazing team, and it's very under the radar. So I'm pretty slim on Pegnet and Teller, so I'm not going to advocate for them. But those are my 3 favorite, the ones that I'm watching, and I wish those guys the best.
And just finally, Jeff, for those who have learned about Uptrend today and want to get involved, what is the best advice that you'd give them to grow and I guess earn more money, more tokens?
Yeah, just join and be yourself. Honestly, it's a social media platform, and that's it. So just come in. I think the biggest thing that you can look like, hey, what do you want to see people post? If you just think like that, well, you want somebody to be adding value to you. So the best thing somebody can do is be adding value to the world, whether it's a tutorial, whether it's something funny, something that's going to brighten somebody's day. That's always the best. But at the end of the day, it is just a social media platform as well. So if people just be themselves, post selfies, whatever it is, I think that we have the best engagement out of any social platform online today, especially for new members. So I'd say just give it a try and just find out what works. It's really not, there's no secret formula. It's just be yourself, put out good content, and make some friends.
It sounds so sweet. Be yourself, make some friends, and just have a great time. I guess you can't go wrong, can you, with that? Yeah. Jeff, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on Altcoin Buzz today.
Yeah, I've loved coming here. Thanks a lot.